fish. Whoa! I didn't even get one jerk in, dude. He hit it the instant it hit the water. Hello. Oh my goodness. Yeah, baby! Yes, dude! Dude. Oh. No way. I'm gonna go for it. Yes! Holy cow, dude. That's a good one. That's a good fish. The last minute.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to yet another video. I am your host, Michael Wallendorf, and this is MN Mike Outdoors. Let me ask you all a very important question. Do you have a haunting passion for watching big Canadian muskies headhunt giant bulldogs directly under the surface over 60 feet of water? If so, then you should definitely go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons, because that is exactly what today's video is all about. Guys, I am beyond stoked to finally get this project edited and uploaded. This video has been a long time coming, and it is easily one of the coolest fishing trips that I've ever taken in my entire life. Today, I am finally getting the chance to show you guys my week-long fishing trip last summer to the legendary Eagle Lake in Ontario, Canada. I was joined by my good buddy Joe from Full Spectrum Outdoors and two of his good tournament buddies, Cole and Keegan, and our mission was simple. Hunt solely monstrous muskies for 1 week straight on probably one of the world's best musky lakes. I have a ton of super sick footage from this trip, but because I was so dialed in on the actual fishing, I didn't get the chance to film either an intro or an outro. And so what I'm going to do in today's video is walk you guys through the raw footage and piece it together using this sort of vlog segment here at the desk, combined with a little bit of MN Mike storytelling. So without further ado, let's talk about my trip to Eagle Lake. Late June 2023, Joe picked me up at my house at approximately 1 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and after loading way too much gear into his truck and boat, we began the 5-hour drive north to Eagle Lake, Ontario. Now, if you're not familiar with Eagle Lake, then you very likely don't fish for muskies, because this lake is world-renowned for producing both numbers of fish and for producing some incredible size potential. And we're going to talk about that size potential later on in the video. This was my very first time fishing Canadian waters, and so needless to say, I was beyond stoked for this trip. The drive was super smooth, and we were able to make it to Eagle Lake just a little bit after sunrise. We launched the boat and began casting some shallow, weed-based spots that Joe has been super familiar with from his years of fishing there. I kid you guys not, we weren't fishing for 10 minutes before Joe connected on a muskie on a topwater.
Hello. Nah.
Yep.
Heck yeah, dude.
It's coming in quick, so yeah.
Oh goodness.
Ready?
Yep. Oh my goodness. Woo! Yeah, baby! The first 5 minutes of the trip and the spot continues. Oh, no, yes, dude! Yes, baby! That thing annihilated that thing. Oh my goodness.
Oh. Good
Let's go,
job, man.
dude.
That was perfect. You got it.
My pleasure,
you did the
man.
perfect thing, man.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Yes, baby.
Freaking Eagle Lake.
Let's go. You're back. That's it.
Boom. Hopefully
Let's
this
go.
isn't a bad omen.
No, dude.
He literally annihilated it.
He destroyed it. I cannot believe you. I cannot believe you.
I can't.
You machine. That's the first muskie I've ever netted.
It's gonna be one of many, bud.
Let's go. I didn't even like see it hit, but I heard the splash and look over and there's white water around your bait. Oh. Good?
Yeah.
All right, brother. All set. Beautiful fish, dude.
39.
39.
3/4.
Dude. Finish that tailbait. Think he'll go 40?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not big enough to try. Dude, waited 4 years for this.
Yeah, dude. No kidding.
This was sick.
So sweet.
There he goes.
He's going down to chill. Heck yeah, brother.
I was absolutely beside myself that we were able to connect with a muskie within the first 10 minutes of our week-long trip. We ended up fishing until sundown that first day. Joe caught another baby muskie on a crankbait. I caught a big smallmouth on topwater. And we ended up with probably 3 or 4 promising follows from muskies, all in shallow, weed-ish based spots. Unfortunately, our luck did not hold up for the next few days. When we began casting early on day 2, that began a few days saga of just blasting shoreline with all sorts of baits to no avail. We caught a bunch of pike and had a few mediocre follows per day-ish, just continuing to fish shallow spots. I'm talking weeds, points, islands, reefs, you know, your typical shoreline musky spots. And we were fishing hard, sun up to sundown. We were throwing cranks and blades and rubber and suics and topwaters and all sorts of stuff. And like I said, we averaged a couple of mediocre, lazy follows per day, but we didn't end up connecting with a muskie over the next few days. The other 2 guys that we were staying with, Cole and Keegan, they're Joe's good buddies. They fish tournaments together and stuff. They actually caught a feeding window right before a thunderstorm, trolling, just trolling big crankbaits. And they actually caught 3 muskies in, I think it was like an hour and a half or 2 hours, including Keegan's biggest muskie to date, which I think was 51 and a half. But that feeding window ended just about as quickly as it began. Joe and I tried to go out and replicate that bite. Soon after, they sent us a text saying that they were getting fish, and Joe and I trolled our brains out from Wednesday afternoon until halfway through Thursday, without even marking a single fish. Completely burned out from trolling, we went back to casting shoreline on Thursday evening, and we ended up with 3 more follows. Remember what I had said earlier about the size potential of Eagle Lake? One of those follows that we got Thursday afternoon was a fish that we ran into off of an island complex, and I was fishing a suic, very, very slow. And on my very last cast on this island complex, a fish came up after my suic into the figure 8 that has just absolutely haunted my dreams since. Joe said that in the years that he has fished Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Canada, it was by far the biggest muskie he has ever seen, and I absolutely concur with that estimate. Basically, Joe said it was probably 53 to 54 on the low end of things. I unfortunately don't have any super good footage of that follow. I was wearing a chest cam instead of a head cam, like an idiot, and it doesn't really matter anyway. Once I got a good look at the fish I was dealing with, I absolutely freaked out and rushed the figure 8. And the fish ended up coming up to nip at the back tail fin of my suic before easing back into the depths. And that fish has just haunted me to this day. And of course, immediately after losing that fish in the figure 8, our boat almost got hit by lightning. And we got caught in a thunderstorm and we had to take shelter on an island, and it was a whole big mess. I'm going to try to keep today's video about solely muskies and musky catches, but if you guys want me to sit down and share with you some of the adventures that we went through on this trip to Canada, some that I did catch on film and some that I didn't, go ahead and drop that in the comment section down below. We've got some cool stuff that went on this trip. Joe and I ended up saving a stranded boat that got caught in that same thunderstorm. We caught a ton of walleyes on, I think it was Tuesday afternoon. We survived hypothermia, and just did a bunch of other typical Canada shenanigans. But back to muskies. Friday, the last day of our trip to Eagle Lake. Joe and I got up with the sun, put on all our gear, and went out to continue hitting shoreline. Sore and tired and demoralized as we were, this is just kind of the grind we had gotten settled into. We fished shoreline for about an hour or 2 before realizing that we were banging our head against a wall, and we had had enough of this garbage. So Joe made the executive decision that we would pack up and try and do a Hail Mary send to fish open water. At this point in the trip, even with the fishing being as slow as it was, I was still the only one in our group to have not caught a muskie, which was a little discouraging. I mean, I don't know, being on the world's best musky lake, fishing dawn to dusk super hard for 4 consecutive days without having a single fish to show for it was just a little disheartening. And so I said, sure, Joe, why not? We've been hitting shoreline for the past few days. I've got nothing to show for it, so I have nothing to lose by trying open water. And you guys have to understand that open water is something that Joe had really not fished before this trip, and I had barely heard of the concept of open water musky fishing before. So this is a field that was very, very new to the both of us. Bottom line, we had no confidence that this would actually work. So we made it out to deep water and we started puttering around with our electronics, and after a little bit of easing around out in the waves, Joe looks over at his side imaging and he finds a school of ciscos. And so we log on to that school of ciscos and we continue to scan around the edge of it. And at one point, Joe looks down at his screen and he goes, "There's a pack of them." And at this point, I'm completely brain dead and super discouraged, and so I just kind of shrug and go, "Of what, ciscos?" And Joe goes, "No, muskies. There's like 7 of them." So that definitely perked me up a bit. And so I clipped on this Magnum Bulldog onto my cheap pole pause rod, and we set up on the other side of that school of ciscos. We begin a drift. I make one cast, rip that Bulldog back to the boat, nothing to show for it, and I go to haul out another cast. I clear out about half my spool on my Calcutta. I go to engage the reel, and before I can get one rip in on the rod, that Bulldog got absolutely clocked.
Oh, fish. Frick.
Motor's off.
Huh?
Motor's off.
Okay. Instant hit the water.
Keep reeling.
I'm reeling.
Keep pressure. Keep
Pressure.
Okay, and if it gets close, thumb the reel. Not yet, so.
Yep.
Keep pressure.
Get him, dude. Yes! Yes! Whoa! Dude. Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh!
Here, hold on.
Oh my gosh! Oh.
Yeah, I got it. You're good. Go chill. I'm gonna get him on hook. What's that? That's your 40.
I didn't even get one jerk in, dude. He hit it the instant it hit the water.
Keegan, did you hear it?
Oh yeah, we heard it.
It's his first one. It's probably like a 40, but he didn't even get that jerk hit. It just smacked the second it hit the water. All right, we'll see you in a sec.
The last minute.
Dude, you got her. It was barely hooked too.
Was it actually?
You were nervous I wasn't gonna get him.
What?
You
No.
were nervous in my netting.
No, I wasn't. I was just like,
Get him.
well, you're right. I had horrible tension on him, so I was just like, dude, if he gives me one bad head shake, it's over.
Probably 40, 42.
It's not the 50 we saw, but I'm more than happy with
Fish,
it.
man, you got your muskie
I'm
on Eagle Lake.
so happy. I'm actually so happy. Yep.
2 seconds later,
Dude, he's like, on. I'm like, what?
It didn't have time to sink.
Dude,
I went to rip it once.
He got lucky because it was like with us going this way as a low gear ratio reel, and so it was barely any tension. I'm like, dude, you got to crank, man.
I was cranking, dude.
But it was one hook in the beak from the front hook. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and they're freaking mean. No kidding. You're right.
I know, right?
I got in the net and it just barrel rolled.
Yeah, we could see it splashing.
Yeah, go right to the bump first. That's a 40. Probably just there, eh?
Oh my goodness. Hello. It's okay, girl. It's okay.
40!
40.
40!
Hey,
40.
Hey!
hey, beat Joe.
Yeah, by
Quarter inch.
Shut up.
Okay. Drop her back.
Okay.
Wait for her to...
Yeah, we marked a wolf pack. It was nuts. This was the first cast on the spot, I think, or second cast.
Let's go.
There you go. Okay. But, yeah.
I'm just gonna release her.
Yeah.
gone.
She gone.
She gone. Yes.
So that was it, guys. That was my big comeback moment on Eagle Lake. And it's my biggest muskie to date. I know it's nothing crazy at only 40 inches, but it was absolutely filled out from head to tail from gorging on Cisco's over the past week or two. And man, after 4.5, 5 days of just absolutely nothing, that fish meant the world to me. So we released the fish, we celebrated, and then we set up for another pass alongside those Cisco's. Joe clipped on a white Medusa, and it did not take long for him to get in on the action.
No way. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Get in the net. Get it.
Coming.
Yep. Yeah, dude.
You ready?
Yep. You wanna go for it? Yes!
Yeah!
It's big. Okay. Get the pliers. We gotta get our head in.
Yeah.
Yes!
Unfortunately, my camera cut out right there, as is the usual for filming on big fishing trips. We ended up getting the fish untangled and released, no problems at all, super healthy. It was another post-spawn fish, super filled out, that ended up going about 43 inches. Yeah, it was 43 inches on the dot. We only had about an hour left after that release before we had to begin the drive back to Minnesota. So long story short, Joe's 43 ended up being the very last fish of our Eagle Lake trip. So both of those awesome last-minute fish came from completely open water, just suspended 10 feet or less under the surface, over about 50 to 60 feet of water. And let me tell you guys something, like I kind of said earlier, this open water thing was completely new for me. It felt so unnatural to be casting blindly towards the horizon, rather than towards a given piece of structure like an island or a stump or a weed edge or something like that. That being said, I think it's clear that the results speak for themselves. Needless to say, open water musky fishing is definitely something that is secured solidly in my repertoire, and if I ever find myself in Eagle Lake again, rest assured that I'll be hitting the big waters very, very hard. So anyways guys, that concludes my summary of probably the wildest fishing trip that I've ever taken. I think I learned as much about muskies and musky fishing in that week in Canada as I have in the previous 8 years that I've been chasing muskies back here in the States. Even with the fishing being as slow as it was, I had enough interactions with muskies, combined with my conversations with Joe, Cole, and Keegan, who are just absolute sticks when it comes to musky fishing. I was able to learn so much about how to chase these awesome fish. And our experience with our struggle from casting shoreline and eventually finding success in open water just goes to show that if you find yourself banging your head against a wall, you can't be afraid to go and break out of your comfort zone and try something new. Which I guess is just as true in all aspects of life as much as it relates to musky fishing. Bottom line, Canada was just an amazing experience, and I want to give a huge shout out to Joe, Cole, and Keegan for having me tag along on this trip, giving me the invite, and just putting up with me for 5 days. It was awesome, guys. Thank you. And I also want to give a huge shout out to you guys for sticking with this video. Like I said, this project has been a very long time coming, and I am just beyond stoked to get this project out there and uploaded and just ready for you guys to watch. Otherwise, that's all I have for you wonderful people right now. Stay tuned for more videos coming down the pipe now that I actually have my editing software up and running. Production is getting a lot easier for me in between, the college stuff, the work stuff, and just other life things that are going on. So stay tuned for more projects, more videos coming your way this summer. Until then, that's all I have for you guys. Until next time, thanks for watching. And make sure that you guys get out there on the water this summer and catch yourself some giant fish. We're back, baby.